Imagine being a people Israel, living in exile, longing for what was, while still trying to claim the promise of what will be. Where is their hope? Especially remembering other tribes and what became of them, Israel so wants to cling to hope, yet reality sets in. They say our bones are dried up and our hope is lost. We are cut off completely. Yet God shows Israel they will live as the bones came together, like the people. There was no life. Yet, with the breath of God, the Spirit poured into them. They became full of life and full of hope. O my people, I will put my Spirit within you. You shall live, and you shall live on your own soil. Is it hearing that they will be placed on their own soil that gives them hope? Or is it the Spirit of God that allows them to hope? When we get to those points in life where we may feel hopeless, and sometimes I think a lot of us are there right now, or we sense things are not moving quickly enough, and a lot of us may be there right now. Where is it that our hope is restored? Is it by joining with community and hearing that God is doing a new thing among us? Is it by feeling the Spirit of God opening hearts anew, filling us with vision for what can be, filling us with the power of the Spirit in order to make something a new reality? I think about that as I think about our garden, and I know a lot of you were surprised with the news the other day to hear that it will be the last summer for the garden where it is. And yet, we have all of this ahead of us. We can dream something new. We can envision something different. Maybe it's time to put it to rest and see what springs forth. Maybe it's time to, we don't know what. But we're going to be dreaming, we're going to be visioning and discerning what God will do. In our very long gospel reading for today, and thank you, Anna, another community is gathered, saddened by their friend's illness and death. They're grieving their loss, comforting the women whose brother has died. Both Martha and Mary, upon seeing Jesus, pour out their grief. They announce, "Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died." Jesus tells Martha that Lazarus will rise again, and he asks Mary where they laid him. "Come and see," she says to him through her tears. The grief of the sisters and the community leads Jesus to tears. The texts say he was greatly disturbed. Imagine the scene, the grieving family and friends making their way in the midst of their tears to the cave where they had laid their brother. In those days, they wrapped their dead using strips of linen cloth and laid them in a cave, sealed it off, and in a year they would return to take the bones to their final resting place. In pondering the community of Martha and Mary, one day some years ago, I remember a 2-mile hike down a dirt path which led to a cave. Standing at the cave, I imagined the people of this scene gathered around, hearing Jesus call, "Lazarus, come out." What did I expect to see? I asked myself as I stood at the cave's entrance. Well, like the community, I hoped beyond hope that I would see the dead Lazarus walking from the deep recesses of that cave toward the light. And I stood at that cave in silence, and I could feel the community's anticipating being open for that sign. I remember once, long ago, I stood at the foot of a gurney with an 18-month-old boy, the son of friends, lying lifeless, as 6 of our community gathered round him in prayer. It was with that same anticipation for a sign that breath would come back into his body. It did for Lazarus. Why not for Michael? But it did not come for Michael. Yet the community gathered. It had work to do, to grieve with his parents and those who had grown to love him, and in months to come, to continue to open our hearts to them, to be present as God's breath brought new life to that family and that community. Another community gathered, this one waiting to see Lazarus moving from the dark of the cave, and he moved toward the sound of Jesus' voice. Unable to see, being bound in cloths, he heard the words, "Unbind him." Jesus calling to the community, "Unbind him." To enter into the miracle, bring the man back to life. Take his death cloths from him. Unbind him, set him free. Resurrection, new life, does not happen in isolation. Can you imagine being in that group and hearing Jesus call out to Lazarus, and Lazarus, whose hands and feet are bound, coming out of that cave? It must have been quite a sight. When my children were little, I did a lot of Sunday school teaching, and the kids loved to act out this story. They loved to be Lazarus coming out of that cave some way, somehow. But resurrection happens, and new life happens, but it does not happen in isolation. St. Luke's has been in transition for a while now, and as I journey with you, I sense the process, and I sense the movement here. And as Jesus is saying to Lazarus' friends, it is the action of the community to unbind, to release yourself from the past. Take what was good and unbind the rest. Set it free and help create what will be. We come together as community in many ways. The beauty of gathering together is in hearing one another. We learn more of who we are as we listen to those we sit near on Sundays. We open ourselves to the joy of dreaming together. Where is God calling us? What does God want us to be doing in the next few years? How is our community changing? Who can we reach? Where can we breathe new life? Who will come to us bringing new life? Not only a new rector, but people sitting in the pews, creating together and setting in motion the future of St. Luke's. Called to do this as community, reaching out to one another and praying for the future, the rector and others who will journey with you. This story of the raising of Lazarus calls us to look at ourselves, not only as community, but as individuals. What are those things that we have let bind us? Things that suck the life out of us. Things that keep us from moving forward. Perhaps it's anger, or not willing to let go of something. Perhaps it's a huge disappointment, an addiction, an unwillingness to forgive, worry. We are called to be set free by unbinding, turning things over to God, releasing. Rarely can we say or do this once and it's complete. It's a process. Sometimes it works where it is complete once, but mostly we have to work at it and work at it. Turning it over daily, learning to live in the present. And it is often not something we're called to do alone. We are part of a church community, and we're called to support one another, to hold each other up when life gets tough. Sometimes we have to say what we need. That too is often part of being set free, because not many of us can easily state what we need. Learning to receive is something many of us find difficult. Lazarus had to receive. Often we too find ourselves in situations where we learn allowing others to do something for us. And we have to be open to gently taking it in. Saying thank you instead of saying, nope, I don't need anything, I can do it myself. And I'm in there too. We are called to walk together in community, giving as much as we can and learning how to receive graciously with open hands and open hearts. When God breathes grace into our lives, we must be open to receive it, to let it fill us. The Spirit of God lives in us and fills us to live God's love in the world. There's a poem, and some of you may have heard me using it, but I continually return to it. And I love the image of just floating in the Spirit. It's called The Avowal by Denise Levertov. As swimmers dare to lie face to the sky, and water bears them, as hawks rest upon air, and air sustains them, so would I learn to attain free fall and float into Creator Spirit's deep embrace, knowing no effort earns that all-surrounding grace.